Today, we're talking about something super interesting and super important. We're going to talk about dead and alive ending sounds in different languages. Now, why is this important? And what does that even mean? Well, that's what we're going to explore today. So, before we get started, you probably want to know, who am I? This is your first time to this channel. I'm Darren. I'm a traveling polyglot and I like learning languages and I've traveled around. Today, we're going to explore some different languages and we're going to talk about dead versus alive, as dead versus alive ending sounds. And we're going to talk about why that's important. We're going to look at some examples from a few different languages, Asian languages. It's going to be Thai, Malay, Indonesian, Arabic, and even a bit of Chinese. So you're in the right place. Please subscribe to the channel and drop some comments. Let me know what kind of languages you are learning. And let's go ahead and let's get started. So you're probably wondering, what is a dead or a live ending sound? Well, let's make it very simple. A dead sound is exactly what it sounds like. It's a sound that dies. The end of the syllable is dead. And there are a few ways that we can get a dead sound. For instance, if it ends in certain consonants that have a dead sound, like a P, T, or K, or some similar ending in some languages, it would be like a D. Also, a short vowel by default also kills the syllable because the vowel is short. In some of these languages that we are talking about, particularly Thai and Arabic, they have short vowels and long vowels, as do some dialects of Chinese. They have short vowels and long vowels, and it's very important. You can think of a dead sound as the sound is dead, it dies, and you can't say anymore. Or as an alive, well, it's like, say you can hum it or sing it like a long vowel. Ah, you can say ah forever, well, until you run out of breath. That's a long sound. Any long vowel, that's a live. E. Also, some consonants like an in sound, or an the ng sound, the the m sound. Yeah, you can hum them forever. They are alive. They are not dead like some of these other endings. So let's talk about some stopped consonants because different languages handle them in different ways. Here in Asia, particular languages like Thai and Malay or Indonesian, words ending in PTK or these type of dead sounds, they are not pronounced with a strong puff of air like in English or other European languages. They're stopped abruptly, and you have to swallow the sound. So to say, you're cutting off the sound. So let's look at some Thai words. For instance, the word gap, it means with. And you might want to say gap or gap, like in English, with a strong P, but that would be wrong. And Thai people will look at you and they will say, my kaujai. I don't understand, because you made a very big mistake and they won't understand you. It's not gap or gap. It's gap. You swallow your P, the P sound. You barely hear it. And that would be the same, say, like deck. Deck means child. It's not deck, like a deck of cards in English. It's not a strong K. It's a very short K. Deck, deck. You can barely hear it. Same like mak. Mak means a lot of something. In Malay or Indonesian, we have the same situation. For instance, the word good, bike. It's not bike like a bicycle in English. The K is not released. It's not a strong K. It's bike. Very good. Another one, tidak, also with a K. Tidak. It's not tidak. It's not a strong K. And it would be the same for any other dead sound. Now, Malay does not have long and short vowels. Maybe the Malay, they will take some foreign words and they might add an extra vowel. Hardy, Jamat. That's another one with a dead sound. Jamat. It's a T. It's not Jamat. It's Jamat. Hardy Jamat. It means Friday. I have a video already about the days of the week in Malay and Indonesian and how they're influenced by Arabic. And yes, Arabic, that is another Asian language. And we are talking about Asian languages. It is the exception to this rule. If you are an Arabic speaker, and particularly if you recite the Quran, you know that there is the qalqalah. The qalqalah is a bouncy ending sound, kind of like in English. We have these bouncy ending sounds. When we kill our syllables, we like to really kill them, and we bounce a lot. I think in Arabic, especially if you're reciting the Quran, you would bounce even more. and you have to do your qalqalah, or your Quran teacher will tell you you did it wrong when you're reading your tajweed. So if you come from Malaysia or Indonesia or Thailand and you're learning to read the Quran, this is something you need to keep in mind. Or if you're coming from some other country that has these dead endings. Let's take a look. For instance, we have the word qalb. Qalb means heart. That should bounce at the end. Qalb. Same like ahad. You know, at the end of Surah Al-Ikhlas. Ahad, the kaf, which is a hard K, or the ta, also with the ba. There's no P in Arabic, but there's a bus sound, which also kills the ending. And then there's the jim, like in baruj. So it's baruj. It's not a full fatha or a full kasra, but it's a very big bounce. And it would be marked in the Quran with a sukun. There's no vowel sound. So that's a dead ending in Arabic. And maybe when Arabs speak, they probably speak just like in English, and they don't bounce quite as much as when you have to do your tajweed. But that is something that you should keep in mind. Yes, most languages here in Asia, you want to swallow your sound, but Arabic is the glaring exception here. So that is something to keep in mind. Think about dead or alive. It's very important if you're learning Thai, and if you are in Thailand and you're a Farong, a foreigner, and you're trying to learn Thai. This is something that gives you a lot of fits, but it's actually not that difficult when you think about it, because you just have to remember, can you sing the end? Can you hum the end, or does it die? Something that you need to know when you want to know the tone. And there are different ways to learn the tone rules. Tones are the topic of another video, and I do have a video talking about tones in Thai and also tones in Chinese, and how they're related to each other. And it is definitely a system. Thing you have to know about tones is, yes, there's pitch, but it's also about what your throat's doing. And that's why the dead syllables or the alive syllables are very important, because your throat is cutting off when it is dead, or it's staying alive when it's alive. For instance, we have the word cow. Cow means rice. And because it's a high class, it's a long ending. It is a falling tone. When we look at the mid class or the low class, mid class and low class, they would be the normal tone. Ka. And the thing you need to know about the normal tone is your teacher, your Thai teacher, will not tell you this probably, but that it's going to drop off at the end, even if it's alive, like ka, and you hear a drop off. But if it's normal, ka, ka, if you try to keep it level, you'll end up going for a rising tone or a high tone, and you don't want to do that. So that's why I say it's also about the throat position. What are you doing with your throat? You just kind of have to let your voice run out of breath when the syllable ends. Of course, you're not going to go ka. You just go ka, ka. And then we have the short dead. There is actually a vowel marker. It looks kind of like these two little squiggly things on the right side of the consonant, or the right side of a vowel. And that means to kill the vowel. It's a short vowel, so ka. And that would rise up your tone. So it'd become a high tone. And the thing about the high tone is you have to pinch your voice when you're at the end. Otherwise, it sounds like a rising tone. If you'd like to see a video about tones in Thai, please comment on the video, like the video, and share with your friends. But that's how that's how the tones are affected by alive and dead syllables. I will give you one more example that is kind of important when you're learning Thai. So we have the short dead, and we have the long dead. We also have the my ek. My ek is the first tone marker, and my ek, when it goes on to a word, it would have the same effect, basically, as killing the syllable. So even if the word ends in a live sound, say like ga, it would bring the tone down and make it into a low tone, ga, ga, but it would be a long low. You would see that the myek is very similar to what the long dead would be for the different classes. If it's on a short vowel, then it would be similar to the short dead. So that is something that you want to keep in mind. But tone markers are also a whole another topic in Thai. Also, when we think about Chinese, well, Chinese also has tones. However, in Chinese, there are no long vowels or short vowels. So, like ma means mother. Ma, it's just a normal vowel. We don't really have alive and dead sounds in Chinese. But if you're learning a dialect, like I said at the beginning, then you'll have to pay attention. So that's how it works. There you have it. Dead versus alive endings. They're not just about pronunciation. They can change the tone, meaning, and the rhythm in a language. Like I said at the beginning, if you're learning Indonesian or Malay or Thai, they can the dead or the short vowels, they kill the sound and they change the tone. Yeah, you can have a long vowel and it can still have a dead ending, like the PTK, which again kills the sound. And if you're learning Arabic, you also have to pay attention. Unlike in these other languages, the sound is very bouncy and maybe even a bit more bouncy than in English or your other European languages. So these are little details that make a huge difference. That will help you to improve your language skills if you pay attention to these type of details. So let me know in the comments, have you noticed these ending sounds in languages you speak? Don't forget to like and subscribe for more language deep dives. So we'll see you around for the next video.